All right, good afternoon, everybody. Mr. Mancius here. We are on day six. Day six. We just finished collisions where we added some colliders to our objects that we're going to be using to include the spaceship, the lasers, and the asteroid. So today we're going to go ahead and put that into effect and break up the asteroid when there is contact. So let's go ahead and get started with my Unity hub. There it is. And, oh, that's falling objects. Sorry. I'm at this one. Asteroids. I'll be right back when everything is up. All right, so now that we're up and running, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of two of these asteroids for now. That way we focus on the one and we don't have to worry about any mishaps, okay? We can always drag them back in because we know there are here in our prefabs, okay? So we got a large, a medium, and a small. We're going to be working on the large one, okay? So the first thing we need to do is get into our script so we can make some adjustments to our large asteroid. And we're going to go inside the asteroid script here, okay? All right, so let's see. We got our script up. So what I want to do first is bring our asteroid into... Well, first we need to identify the asteroids. Hold on, let me check something. Test 1, 2, test, test, test. All right, it's working. What I'm going to do is make sure that we can identify them. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a public integer. Okay, public int. And I'm going to call this asteroid size. So the way we're going to break this up, we're going to identify them by a number. 3 is going to equal large, 2 is going to equal medium, and 1 is going to equal small. So first, I'm going to go ahead and create this integer called asteroid size. Okay, asteroid size. All right, and sometimes I just like to capitalize stuff, so let me do this. Okay, and we'll close it out. And let me add a comment here so we can at least identify what each one is. 3 will equal large. All right. The number 2 will equal medium. And the number 1 will equal small. Okay. That way we know what these numbers are going to represent. So when we first start off our game, we know we're going to be starting off with large asteroids, and they're going to be broken down into medium and mediums to small. Okay, so that's where we're at there. All right, so we know, like I said, that we are going to start off with 3 large. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and make that happen here by letting it know that we're going to do asteroid size will equal 3. Okay, so we're letting the system know that that's what we're starting with. All right, so just again, comment large asteroid. Okay, that way we have an idea of that's what it is, in case you forgot, because you guys got some bad memory sometimes. Okay, all right, so now we need to decide where we're going to make all this havoc happen. We're going from large to medium and medium to small. So first thing we need to do is get triggered, right? We need to get triggered. So once we get triggered, normally it's going to start off with the laser, right? The bullet. So we're going to get collided by the bullets, and then we need to do something. But before we can do that, we need to make sure we identify that bullet. And the best way to do that is what I like to use are game tags, which is, just ways to identify objects. So what I want to do is go to my prefabs and find the laser that we're using. Wait for this to update real quick, and then I'll hit up there. Oh boy. All right, so prefab laser. My laser is not tagged, so I'm going to go ahead and create a tag, and I'm going to call it laser, and capital LASER. Save it. Come back to my prefab, and I am going to tag it with laser. Okay, so now I can go back, and when the rock is hit by the tag laser, it's going to execute the breaking apart stuff. Okay, so back to our script here, and we're going to create an if statement. So if other, so that's anything else that strikes the rock. If other dot, and we're going to do a compare tag, and this compared tag's name is going to be bullets. I'm sorry, laser. I'm still on falling objects, so we're looking for laser. So put the tag there, and I did use capital letter, I believe, so capital L. So it's going to be looking for that laser. So now what am I going to want it to do? I'm going to go inside our brackets. Okay, so I got my destroy. Obviously, I know I want to destroy it. So now I got to create the other stuff that we're going to be doing to it, which is breaking it apart. So let me put a little comment here. Breaking up large asteroid. Right, that's what's going to happen first. Okay. All right, I did this backwards. I'm sorry. Breaking up the asteroid is going to happen after I destroy my laser. So I'm going to go ahead and Control X that real quick. Oh, what happened? There it is. Okay. So what is happening here is I am destroying the bullets / laser. Right. So destroy laser. Right. Delete. So I can bring that up. Then after I destroy the laser, then I am breaking up asteroid. Okay. So I'm going to need another if statement. I have to ask it, hey, if asteroid size is exactly at 3 or equals to 3, then what do I want to do? So I like to hit my enter sign and put those there. So make sure we are keeping track of our brackets here, folks. So I got one if statement. I got another if statement inside this if statement. So keep that in mind. So now I'm going to come up with a solution. If I strike a large asteroid, I want it to break up into 2 asteroids. So we're going to write the code here for that. All right. So let me put a pause on the writing of the code. Let me go ahead and get the thing set up. So if asteroid size is 3, something here is going to happen. So what's going to happen? I'm going to spawn in 2 mediums, right? Let's write another if statement for the smalls. If asteroid size equals 2, what am I going to do? Well, in this case, I'm going to spawn in, and I'm going to write the code, not the code, but the comment here. Spawn in 2 smalls. All right. And then next, you guys are paying attention to these brackets, please. If asteroid size equals 1, what am I going to do? Well, obviously I'm going to remove it. Okay, so that'll be remove comment, remove small, because that's as small as we're going to go. Okay, All right, let me save that before we get writing. So I'm going to write some code here to show you what we need to do to go from 3 to 2, from 2 to 1, and 1 to get removed. Okay? All right, so I just realized that I'm breaking my own rule, but 3 ifs, it's going to confuse the system, and I don't want to do that. I just realized that. So what I want to do is I want to add an else in front of these last two, just so I don't get them confused. Okay, and you guys remember these are part of our conditional statements. Uh, so we're going to go ahead and keep it that way for right now. If I run into any other problems, then I'll go ahead and take care of that as they arrive. Okay. All right. So we need to identify what game objects we're going to be using. We've established a link by number, but now we need to establish a link by game object. Okay. So it knows, hey, this is a size 2, but it needs to know what physicality. So what I'm talking about is the the actual sprite that we're going to be using. So we're going to come back up here, guys. Let's go. Let's go here. So we're going to create a public game object, and it'll be game object, and this one will be asteroid medium. Okay, and you'll see this pop up in the inspector, and this will be public game object, and we'll make this one asteroid small. All right, that way it has a reference what sprite to use or what prefab to bring in. Okay, so now we have that. We have a numerical value to shorten our code up, so we don't have to be typing in asteroid medium, asteroid small all the time. We can just use this as a reference. All right, let me see what else I need to do. Referring to my notes. Be right back. All right, so I think I messed up and forgot to hit the unpause button. So first thing, I want y'all to go ahead and come back to your code. I want you to go ahead and comment this code out or delete it. Doesn't matter to me. All right, so we're going to go ahead and delete this code right here that I had put. Don't want it to get confused, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. The next thing I did was I went down here. All right, so I added some code. Again, I'm not familiar where I left off at. Again, I forgot, totally forgot. So we're spawning in 2 mediums. So I wrote this code down. All right, so it might be review. I'm not sure where I left off at. So 2 mediums are going to come in place of the large. Once we hit it, 2 mediums transform in, and they rotate in. Asteroid number 2, which is our medium, when it gets hit, I'm instantiating 3 asteroids. I'm going to go ahead and take one of them off. You can do 3. I'm just going to take one off. All right. And then when the last asteroid gets hit, which is size number 1, it's going to get destroyed. Okay. So go ahead and pause your video here. Look at where everything is at. Look at your first if statement followed by one if, and else if. Okay. So size 3, 2, and 1, followed by a destroy. Your brackets should match my brackets. Okay, we are all inside the void on trigger enter 2D. So go ahead, pause, take a look, write it down, please. Make sure your spelling is correct. All right, once you have unpaused, make sure you save. All right, make sure you save. Then we're going to do a few things outside in Unity. We're going to let the script catch up. So what I did was I brought a large and a medium asteroid into the hierarchy. Starting with the large, we're going to look at our rigid body, make sure we're using auto mass, okay, and our gravity is off. We're going to look at our script. We got our max thrust, max torque. We got our rigid body from the large asteroid, which is right there. We got our screen bottom all the way down to our screen left. And then we're going to add in our asteroid size. Asteroid size. That is number 3 for large. Then we have asteroid medium and small. These are the game objects that we're going to grab from our prefabs. So we're going to grab a medium, drag it over here. We're going to grab a small and drag it in here. This is the reference that it needs in order for it to instantiate those asteroids that we called on for it to do. We wrote the script already. You guys paused on it and wrote on it. Okay, so we need to do that for the large. For the medium, asteroid size number 2. Make sure your auto mass is on. 500 is what I recommend. You can play with this size again. If you want it to be very fast, you can make it 1,000 if you want. Okay. Asteroid size is 2 for the medium. Asteroid medium, again, we're grabbing the prefabs from down here, and we're grabbing the small also from down here. Going down to our small. Asteroid size is number 1. Rigid body, auto mass. Play with this number. All right. We can try 500 here in a second. All right, and 500 for both. And we'll see how that looks. Okay. Asteroid size 1, asteroid medium, grabbed from the prefab. Asteroid small is grabbed also from the prefab. Again, this is our reference. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and hit overrides. Make sure everything's good. Medium. Make sure there's no overrides that I need to do. For you, you will need to because you make changes. And here's one of my changes. Apply all. All right, so now my prefabs are changing to this standard right here of 500 thrust and 500 torque. All right, so now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to delete these real quick so I can play with the large, and I want to see it break up into pieces. So let's go ahead and hit play. Don't forget to save. So 2 mediums. Oh, look at that. Yeah, those smalls are going to be deadly. Some break up, some don't. Some get stuck together. You see that? Ooh, these are going to be tough to kill. So again, is 1,000 good? I don't know. Some of y'all might like this challenge. Okay, that's good. So 1,000 is not too bad. I might have to increase the medium. The medium didn't look so hot. So I'm going to go ahead and make change to a medium. If I make changes here in the prefabs, it'll stay good. It'll be saved. So I'm going to increase that to 800. I like to see them spin out of control when they come in. Okay. And you saw how it flashed there. So it should be good to go. Okay. So again, let's test it out. File save. Let me see what the medium looks like now when it blows up. Or I'm sorry, the large. Oh, I can't kill. Boom, there it goes. Still kind of lumbering, right? Large is pretty fast, but I don't like that they're stuck together. So, oh, look at that, cool. All right, so I'm going to see what I can do to change that. So I'll get back to you on another video. I think I've stayed here long enough making these corrections. Let me check the time, and I am at 20 minutes. So 20 minutes is good to keep you occupied, right? We know that. So I'm going to go ahead and call it quits here. And I'm going to work on seeing how I can get these split up a little bit. Okay? All right. Have a good day, folks. I hope you kept up. I know it was a little chaotic. I got sidetracked, and then I came back to it, and I forgot to hit my unpause button. And hopefully I got everything. Hopefully you guys got everything. And that is it. Thank you very much for paying attention. Don't be shy. Make sure you hit subscribe or like. And if you got any questions or comments below, write them there. Please. Bye-bye.